Oh shit! Trip Hawkins.
Lighty!
What's up, guys? It's the Game Bro coming back to you for another review, another weekly review. Weekly videos actually coming out every week. Today we are looking at Battle Garegga on the Sega Saturn. Developed by Raising and published by Aiding, this vertically scrolling shoot-'em-up featured two-player co-op and was released in arcades on Toplin version 2 hardware February 3rd, 1996, then ported to the Sega Saturn February 26th, 1998, both in Japan only. In 2016, M2 released a new version to the PS4 called Rev 2016. Battle Garegga was also directed by Kazuyuki Nakashima, an ex-Compile employee who left to help form Raising, and was also programmed by Shinobu Yagawa, who had worked on the Famicom shooter Rekka and later would go on to direct other shooters for Raising and Cave. Garegga could be considered a spiritual successor to Gun Frontier, man, where have I heard that before, given the style and bomb collection, but comes off looking more like a Compile shooter with a fresh coat of paint on newer hardware. But like having double Ds in high school to the A cups of everyone else, Battle Garegga's rank or difficulty system makes it stand out as much as all the teachers chubs through their khakis. And if that didn't already get you in hot water with the principal, the G-string above the sweatpants price tag will totally get your ass fired at roughly $200. Battle Garegga just holds a special place in the STG landscape, not just with fans of the genre but collectors as well. Its difficulty developed a reputation that precedes its rarity to be found in the wild. It's the unicorn Asian with a fat ass and big titties, but won't let you do butt stuff and closes her eyes even more when you ask her to swallow. But enough about my stay in Osaka last month. Let's take a more in-depth look at another branch from the Compile family tree. As for a story, Battle Garegga takes place in a diesel-punk 1940s, has an engine and factories cranking out machines as much as I jerk off the Queen of Spades videos. The Wayne brothers are approached by a mysterious group called the Federation to switch from making cars to weapons, promising them wealth beyond their wildest beliefs. They agree, and while ordering that ivory backscratcher, they see the error in their ways as the Federation uses the weapons they made to take over the world and destroy everything in their path. The brothers Wayne use 4 experimental crafts they built to take down the Federation, and the game unfolds over the 7 stages. The ship selection gives you 4 choices including colors as well as unlockables from Sorcerer Striker, but we'll stick with the basics. The cover art, and rightfully so Silver Sword, is the all-around balanced, nice ass and titties with a great face ship. Then you get the Grasshopper with a little less face, and usually the one you talk to just to get close to her hotter sister. The Flying Baron is the petite A-cup tight little ass that you'd have no problem throwing around the sheets. Then there's this wild snail. Every group of friends always has the fat one, usually the loudmouth too.
How did Helen Keller burn her face? She answered the iron!
Hello?
How'd she burn the other side? They called back!
Hello? Not again.
That winds up picking up the lonely guy at last call for some Canadian corkscrew. The ship's weapons can be powered up via pickups that consist of a standard shot and bomb, plus option pods. The standard shot can be powered up, the bombs can be accumulated as well as used prematurely in smaller uses, which comes in handy when dodging some heavy enemy fire. The option pods can be as many as 4 and used in 5 different formations that are incredibly helpful in disposing of small peasant enemies. The controls of the ship and overall movement are really good. Being able to adjust the size of the hitbox is also very useful to players like myself and other recovering addicts. The level design is unmatched, with atmosphere and visuals that just complete what Garegga is going for in the way of the theme and story. I look at this and think of World War II, but more industrial, more brutal, and dreary, which just sets it up for success even if it didn't play as good as it does. The bosses are these massive ships that are so period correct that they seem like they're right out of the mind of the Führer himself. They all offer different challenges, weapons, and patterns, but the final boss looks like Michael J. Fox is at the controls, and he just railed a fat line off Leia Thompson's ass. The gameplay itself is so satisfying, yet has the intimidation of fucking a porn star. You're afraid your abilities won't be enough to satisfy this pay skank, who hasn't had a period since there were 2 buildings on Fulton Street. Speaking of daddy issues and violent mood swings, it's time we talk about Garegga's rank system. Battle Garegga incorporates a self-adjusting difficulty based on the player's actions and progressions. If the player powers up the weapons, gets a lot of pickups, and stocks up on lives, the game turns full manic shooter. Continue to die and lose lives, and the game gets easier. In similar fashion to talking yourself down while feeding just the right amount of Long Islands to the piece you want to get your 30 seconds in on without remembering, purposely keeping your ship powered down or dying in the later levels will make the final battles easier to get through. But I'm sure if you're the type of psychopath that likes to put ketchup on mac and cheese, a 1cc is achievable. The replay value, as hard as it is extremely high, and its pickup and playability is like your go-to Pornhub vid when you only got 5 minutes between the service and the burial. As I said earlier on, this game is an absolute must for the shooter crowd and maybe more for the collectors. It's one you'll always hold on to, worth keeping face out next to Silvergun instead of the unreadable spine in Saturn games, just because of what you went through to get it. Battle Garegga is the type of girl who plays hard to get, and likes to keep her options open. She's always busy, or hits you up with a maybe, or I'll think about it, when you ask her out, only to wake up the next morning and see your IG post at Webster Hall while you're bagging groceries at Christettis. She's incredibly stunning and knows it too. Her confidence is the deadliest weapon, and the revealing outfits she flaunts always commands the attention of every set of eyes in the club. She never lets her guard down, and only lets you get close enough to fall into her trap. And once you do, it's game over. You try everything just to get her to look at you, and just when you think you're starting to make some progress, the game changes. Always 2 steps ahead of you like Garegga, she changes it up and confuses you even more, but you're desperate for some strange, so you stick with it. Sure, there are strategies to combat this dynamic, like ignoring her or purposely losing life to make the boss fight easier, but who are we kidding? We both know where this is going. Growing frustrated to clap those cheeks, you take the unlimited live training approach to this and sub to her OnlyFans for a disgusting $50 a month just to finish to her, and that's as close as you're ever going to get. For most, that's all it'll ever be, and as frustrating as it is, it'll always get the tension it deserves. But the select few that do get to turn this flesh bagel into a Boston cream, it'll be put on a pedestal forever, a trophy. But the kicker is, this girl and Battle Garegga are on the same pedestal, of the guy who treated her as his personal daycare and the mouth breather who played through with unlimited lives. It means the same thing to both, and that's why Battle Garegga has and deserves the reputation it's created for itself. It's only out there for its own self-gratification. How smart you are to pick up on this and be a step ahead of her or mesmerized in her trance will determine which side of the fence you fall, but let's face it, someone's getting played. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been the Game Bro. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I gotta get out of here. Someone's knocking at the door because I got that Jehovah's stiffness. Have a good night.